I'm doing to discuss Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. Okay, now this is live, so so I don't usually do these types of videos. I've made a couple of videos before, but they weren't live, right? Regular videos, not live streams. I don't do this sort of thing. I just I make other videos. Anyway, a discussion is needed. That's why I'm making this. Okay, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, Friday the 13th game. Same developers are making the Texas game. For those of you who are not aware of that, that's pretty much it. Just look up Friday the 13th, the game. It'll say the developers. Developers are Gun Media Entertainment. Is it Entertainment? Gun Media Entertainment, something like that. Gun Media is just what I call them. They're making the Texas game Friday. If you played Friday the 13th, you played it, obviously. You know what it's like. If you haven't played it, go play it. Go do that. And you'll know what it's like then. Now, the Texas game. The Texas game. Right. First thing I want to talk about is combat. There's not going to be any. Or there's not going to be much of it. Okay, so there won't be combat as in boom, 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 or vice versa with, not vice versa, just with weapons. You won't be beating the crap out of them, It won't be like that. Which is why I like Friday so much, because it is like that. With the Texas game, it's going to be different. In a couple of ways. It's stealth-based. Usually I do play those types of games, but I don't love them. They get old and repetitive. Now, when you're fighting back, when you're able to do that, it doesn't really become repetitive because it's more fun, right? So, using stealth, trying to be quiet, trying to hang on. Okay, so yeah, it's repetitive. Using stealth, in my opinion, rather than fighting back all the time, because that's something I like to do in these types of games. That's why I don't like playing Dead by Daylight. I don't like that game. I don't play that game. I've tried it, yes, didn't like it. Again, it comes back to combat being a thing, and it's not a thing. That's what it's missing. But this is in a Dead by Daylight discussion. It's about this game, so let's talk more about that. First of all, combat. It's not going to be a thing in this game. Like I said, it's going to be stealth based. So how is that going to work? Is that I've seen screenshots, I've seen gameplay. I'm not going to show that to you guys because I can't. I have no way of doing that. But I don't know how people do it. People have videos of showing gameplay over their commentary. I don't know how people do that. YouTubers who know what they're doing. I honestly don't know how to do that. I'm just making a stream so I can explain. Not explain, just let you guys know what I think about what the game will be like. I think the game is going to be. I feel like it's going to be good. I've seen enough to know that's going to be good. You are able to fight the killers, but not. You're not going to be, beating them up or anything, like you can with Jason Friday the 13th, the game. Of course, if you guys, like I said, have played the game, you know what I mean by that. You know what I mean. You can beat Jason up anytime you want. whether he's in rage or not, you can still beat him up. And you're not going to be able to do that in this game. It's just not going to be an option. It's going to be very different. You're not going to be teaming up against the killers with the other survivors. In fact, it's going to be recommended that you keep away from the killers as much as possible, at least. And if you don't, you're probably going to die, because if you don't know what you're doing, if you do know what you're doing, you're probably not going to die quickly, but it could still happen. It could still happen, and that's it, you're dead. I don't know if you're going to come back as another character, like Tommy in Friday the 13th, the game. Again, check that game out if you're not aware of it. Or, I mean, there has to be some equivalent in this game, right? I don't know how that's going to work, because I don't know who that would be. Maybe the girl in the Texas movies, but like I said, I haven't seen, I've watched them, but I haven't, I'm not really like into the movies as much as most people are. Most people who've watched them actually like them. They're a fan of the movies. That's fair enough. But I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a fan of them, because then that would mean that I would like them. You know, that would mean that I like them. But I don't really, because they don't have what I want. You know, they're just horror slashers. That's it. But yeah, they're just horror slashers, regular ones where they don't fight. There's no combat, nothing. I mean, there is a bit, small bit in some of the older movies, and I think the remake has some of that as well near the end or something. But the original 1974 movie, which is what the game is based on, or up to the events of, at least, the coming months up to the events of the movie is what the game is based on, if that makes sense. I think it says this on the game's website, so you guys can check that out if you don't take my word for it or whatever. If you want to do that, you can. Now, stealth, right? No, more combat, right? So I saw in the trailer that you're going to be able to. There were a couple of things in the trailer. Obviously, I'm just going to talk about the slight combat that I've seen in the trailer that I thought was interesting, because there is going to be a slight bit of combat, but it's going to be like 2-3 seconds long, right? So you shoulder them onto the ground as a certain character, maybe the tough guy, Leland, I believe his name is. That's the character who can do that. He doesn't do that in the trailer. Instead, he attacks one of the killers with like a knife or something that he made. A knife, not a knife as in Michael Myers style. It's like a small thing that he made from items that he collected or something. Anyone can do it. Like I don't know the name of it. It's like a little tool or whatever. Yeah, like I don't know. He made it from wood or something. It's a small little sharp item that you can attack the killers with. That's probably essentially what you're going to be doing, rather than beating them up. It probably wouldn't work with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. So I guess that makes sense, because it didn't happen in the movies. Does it make sense to happen in the game? Probably not. But that's probably why it's not happening, and also they're making it a stealth-based game. They're not choosing to make this based on combat, the amount of combat that Friday the 13th the game has. Like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be very different. It's going to be interesting. Not the stealth part, but I want to be able to like knock the killer down in a different way, and then the character says, "Take that, asshole," or something like that. I want the characters to speak, to have a bit of life in them. You know, I just don't want the characters to be silent for everything that they do. They mess up a phone repair box. I know there is a phone repair box, or else it's the power box that is seen in the trailer. Just look up the new trailer for the game. You'll find it there. You'll find just watch that trailer, and then you'll find where the character messes around with a power box of some sort, and then and then you know messes up on it or whatever, or successfully does it. You have to find fuses, that sort of thing. There's going to be like a different mini game sort of thing. You're not going to be looking for one fuse. There's going to be 4 or 5 fuses, as you can see in the trailer. It shows 4 or 5 fuses. So, are you going to have to find them? Are they in the fuse box for you? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be like that. You probably will have to find them and then avoid Leatherface or whatever. And the other two killers, it's 4 versus 3, so or 3 versus 4, whatever way you want to say it. But yeah, I mean I'm going off the combat topic, but I'm trying to talk about 1 or 2 things, so this video is not too long. I'll probably make a part 2 to this, like sometime soon. So I'm gonna try and get this video wrapped up, not too quickly, but not too long either. What else? So how is escaping going to work in this game? Is it like going to be you just drive a car, get in a car and drive it out of there? You're in the middle of nowhere in the countryside down south, not the setting or something like that. In the middle of nowhere, in a real rural spot where there's one cannibal family around trying to kill you. 3 of them, to be exact. Are you just gonna be able to fix up a car and get out of Dodge? Is it going to be like that? I don't know. I think there will be other things required for that to see what happens there. Obviously there's a power box you have to fix that opens an escape exit, an exit. So is that going to be the only means of escape? I think it might be for when the game first comes out, if there's not like a beta or anything like that has a prototype version of that escape sort of thing. I don't even think there will be a beta, but anyway, going off topic. How's the escaping going to work? Like, you hop in a car and just go out after fixing it up. Obviously, you would have to find the gas or the battery or something like that, like you do in Friday the 13th game. I mean, I haven't seen any cars in the trailer that you could escape in, that you could drive out in. All the cars are just kind of broken down and just not repaired or ancient, and that you can't drive. So, can you call the police or something like that? Are you going to be able to call the police and they just arrive and shoot down Leatherface? Very unlikely, considering it's going to be stealth based. I think the means of escape is going to be a bit less like that. I don't think the police are just going to arrive and just shoot down all 3 killers, because the killers have to be there for them to be shot down, right? They're still human, right? So they can't just get shot down like they're some unstoppable killers. They're human beings and you can't kill them. So shooting them down is going to be it's going to be defeating the purpose of that thing, that idea. That's not going to happen. Shooting them down is a bit unrealistic. Or maybe not that, like maybe something more realistic than, the police arriving and shooting them down and then you escape with the police. I just don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't feel like a game, then it just feels like something you can take the piss out of. That would be a laugh, wouldn't it? I'd say it would be more like you just escape out the house, maybe to the highway or wherever the house is meant to be located. I think it's somewhere in Texas, so like out in the middle of nowhere, in the dead end of Texas or whatever, and by a highway. Because I've seen the movies, that bright, shiny, sunny highway with fields in the middle of nowhere, and then one car passes every day or so, that kind of thing. Maybe you're gonna like have to hitchhike with someone, and just get out of there. Yeah, just hop into a truck and just get out of there, before you or the driver gets killed. Um, Chances are there won't be like a cutscene or anything like that to complete that escape, if that's even going to happen. I'd say it's just going to be like what's in the trailer. You escape out the house, and then it goes to a results screen. They show how you did in the match. You level up, maybe not the results, but like when I say results screen, I mean like after you finish a match, like there is none in. Well, no, there is in Friday the 13th when you get XP and all that, but is it going to be like that in the Texas game? Maybe after you escape, or if you die, there's going to be a screen either way showing how good or bad you did in the match, or it's going to give you XP based on what you did and didn't do. If you didn't do certain stuff, you're not going to get a certain amount of XP, that kind of thing. That's what I mean. But like how's that gonna work though? Like, is it going to work the way I said? Maybe not. I guess we're gonna have to find out. The game comes out next year, so it's not like it's coming out in the next couple of months. Well, it might January or something like that. Chances are it'll probably be like um, June, July, 2023 next year, maybe. I don't think it'll be January 1st, 2023. Interesting if it was, but depends how far in development they are. They might release it that soon, but January 1st, 2023, it kind of narrows down the time that you have to that we're gonna have to wait. I'd say it'll be a bit later than that, but what else? Yeah, talked about escaping a bit. Combat, like, okay, back to this now. If you, okay, so in the trailer, one of the killers, I think his name is the Hitchhiker. I'm not familiar with all the characters, guys, okay, in the movies. I'm just trying to do my best and remember, you know, their names, from people talking about it and all that. Okay, the Hitchhiker, um, or the cook, I think the other guy, isn't it? The other guy's name is, apart from Leatherface himself, obviously it's not him. It's not. He's the guy with the chainsaw, right? This guy is kind of scrawny and skinny and slim, so like, real ugly looking. That kind of character. Um, he grabs someone. He grabs a character, a survivor, and then you have your chance to stun the character temporarily, and then you have to run. Okay, so it looks like on the bottom right hand corner, I think in the trailer, it shows an ability that has to load up. And when that ability loads up, it's like a power ability, like Jason's shift ability or the morpher ability that he has, that he can teleport all around the place. The equivalent of that has to load up. Something has to load up. Something that takes like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to do. I don't know, maybe only 20 seconds. I don't know. I don't know how long that would take. How short of a time it would take. Maybe a minute or something. But yeah, I mean, I want to just knock them down. I want to be able to do something different than hit them with a bat, because hitting them with a bat is not going to happen. I mean, you can kill someone if you hit them with a bat, right? That would defeat the purpose. Where would the person playing as the killer go if you killed them? You know, they're human, so they're not like Jason Voorhees. They're not some unstoppable killing machine or Michael Myers. They're still human beings, but they're cannibals. You know, they can still die the same way a human can die. So um, that's probably got to do with that's probably got something to do with the fact that you can't kill them. You know, it wouldn't make any sense. They don't really get killed in the movies, do they? I think one guy gets burnt to death. I don't know. I've just seen like bits of each movie. I think I've watched the whole remake movie and that was it. I don't even think I've watched the original movie until the end. Um, but yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the game is like and what you can do. They showed us a couple of things that we're going to be doing, like so far, like in terms of the combat that the game will have. Obviously, it's going to be fully stealth based, though. There are going to be ways of defending yourself and other teammates, because I don't want to just run into the killer and then just die. You know, at the end of the day, that kind of just um, you know, nobody wants that. And there has to be a fair advantage on both sides, right? Don't just give the killers all the advantages, because um, you know, these killers can't morph and teleport around the place, morph and shift around the place, because they're people. People don't do that, right? Right? Okay, so you know, Leatherface's abilities, I don't know what they would be, but I don't really play as killer that much, only for fun in these types of games. And like I said, I don't play Dead by Daylight. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I mean, I played Friday the 13th the game a lot since 2017, maybe a bit too much. But I know what that game is like, and I've picked up on things, a lot of things in that game. Not just about how people play, but the game's perspective of things. How the game sort of works, how the game sort of, how you can react to half the things that happen in that game. So, like, yeah, will the Texas game work the same way? I mean, there's bound to be some changes, you know. First of all, that lawsuit cannot happen again. That would just be bad for gun media. I think once is enough for that sort of thing. I think, um, yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I think. And it's a lawsuit, you know. It's not exactly a small situation. It only ended a couple of months ago, and you know that's not long ago at all. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream, and hopefully you guys didn't disagree with me. Too many things that I said too much. uh, and if I make part two, you'll see me live then if you join in, or you'll see me after when it's done. Okay, guys, we'll see you then.